Screen visible है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What we will do today is we will implement the CI/CD, which is a very important topic for our backend and front-end application, and deploy them onto Azure Cloud. Automation. If you know this much, what we have learned in today's class, whatever we will learn, if you know this much, it is sufficient to apply for job and switch job. The other things, the small things, but this is more than sufficient to clear interview and work in any project. So we are going to do this. Application insights is we will come back later, but here we are today. We'll start with Azure Repos. We are learning now at the DevOps, Azure DevOps. In that, we have created our own organization. In the organization, we have created project. And in each project, we have boards, which is for project management. We created that. We created backlog. Then we created sprint, added storage to the sprint, assigned them, closed them. Then the next part is this Azure repos. So you have to go to here, repos. This is in simple word, it is nothing but it's your GitHub only, you can say. So here in this repos, this is my project. Underneath, I will create new repository. So I will name this repository as, let's say I will name it as inventory microservice, the backend. So it will create automatically the main branch, and we can use this main branch for doing different things, like either we can use main branch or master branch. And then for we can clone our repository, and you know how development works, right? You basically you create your feature branch, start working on that, and then there's pull request, and then things get deployed to master branch. So, example, this is our main branch or master branch, whatever you can call. Many team use main or master, anything is fine. Then first time we have to, whenever the code is cloned, right? First time, then you can clone it to any branch. Usually what happens is you create a new branch here, let's say feature, and then you decide what you will do in this feature, what will be the work you will do. Or you can also say it is for now the dev branch. Then we have to connect this. We have to connect this to our application, right? So let me create a temporary file here to put some git commands. Here we have documentation. Everyone knows git, right? It is a
Yes,
tool.
sir.
It is a tool to talk to. It's a basically tool to connect to any GitHub based server. So GitHub is a server, Azure Repos is a server, Bitbucket is also a server, and Git is the client. Using the commands, we can connect them. Next, what I have done is I have created this another folder. CI/CD, and I have just copied my backend code here and front end code here. So first I will go ahead and create the CI/CD for the backend code. So here is our project. So let me open this code dot. So it will open in the VS Code editor. It will open my code in the VS Code editor so that I can edit it easily. So let's say here the first thing I will do is I will create a git ignore file which I will add it here to avoid pushing unnecessary things. So let me create first I will make this as git repo, but let me first put git ignore here. Ignore. And I will copy paste the usual git ignore, which are more or less it covers everything around Java, Spring Boot, and those kind of things. Node modules will be also there. Then it covers everything. Dist is there, build is there, this settings, corporate. We can also add other if we want. Let's say if node module is not there, just say node underscore modules. Then that also gets covered. So now I will connect this to my folder, the recent folder we created here. So let me copy the command, paste. This is the URL. I will generate the Git credentials. This is the username. I will copy this. It's already there here. It's good. Then I will copy the password. So I'll put a colon here, paste the password, and then this is my URL. The first command that we will use is this, which is our this. This we have to convert into a Git repo first. So new terminal. This whole source code needs to be first converted to Git, right? Then only I can do anything. So I would say Git init.
Git init.
Then let me connect. I already have a server repository at the server, right? So I will connect that repository to this repository. So this is the command for that.
Git remote add origin.
I will set the URL also, otherwise it will not take that one. But here I can also do other things, huh? Git add, git, all those things we can do. Git add dot, then git commit minus m initial commit. Just give me 1 second. Huh? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's
Hello?
visible.
Okay, so you give your commit message, whatever is the commit message. So it committed the files, and now we will link it to the right origin. So for that, you can use this command. Before this, I'll paste this. So now it will connect to that origin. Git remote set URL origin and the origin which I have. which we have created. So CLS, and I will wait. We have to copy one more command before that. Git remote add origin, and then origin is set. So let's check git remote -v.
IFV. Yes.
So it is correct set now. So now we can say git push. And where we have to push, we have to set upstream which branch, origin, and we created dev branch, right? We want to first push it to dev branch. Did a spelling mistake. Upstream, STREAM. Okay, now first we will do git pull, and now we will try to do that. Source ref does not have. Okay,
Do fetch and pull once.
git branch. Let's check first what are the branch available. Only master. It is not detecting that branch actually. That's the problem. So git fetch. No, it's not detecting. Git source. If we just say git push, then let's see what it is saying. It is saying git push set. Okay, let's set this to main. By default, it has taken master, I think. In local, it has created a master branch by default. So there also it will push the same master branch. There was no main branch here. If we have to push the main branch, then we have to do git checkout -b and then main. Then it will create a main branch. Then we can do this. Yeah, now it is saying behind. See, now it is saying to set it to upstream main branch. But for now, we can go back to master. Master. So now we have our master branch. Let's see if the code was pushed to the master branch. It will create automatically a master branch here. So we have the dev and master. Main branch is the default one, but we are not using it. Let's go and delete that. So branches. First we'll make this master as default. So unless you are 6, 7 years or 8 years or 10 years experience, these things will you will not do. It will be asked or somebody else will do it for you. the initial setup of the repository. Usually 6, 7 years and above experienced people are given this kind of work. One time the project's repository setup. So now from here you can basically go ahead and rebase your branch, dev branch with another branch. So in the dev branch you don't have code. So you can basically say create a pull request. You can go and do the pull request and sync this to that branch. To dev into master, it should be other way around. Master into dev, you can say it's like you are rebasing now. No restrictions, reviewers, nothing is added, so it automatically gets merged. It's fine. But in real world, it's not like that. You have to follow the proper pull request process. Without pull request approval, nothing will get approved. But I just showed you a simple way to just copy the branch code from one branch to another branch. So now I have master branch, same code, and dev branch, same code. So now I will say git fetch. Now git branch. Git, this is the local branch. Git checkout dev. So this is the dev branch that we have now here. Code, everything is now there. So now we need to connect our CI/CD pipeline. This is the CI/CD pipeline. Here we said include main or master. So I will say master and I will change this to features slash this, or I can also add another one. I can just say any commit that happens to my dev branch. Then automatically this pipeline will trigger. And what do we need here? What version of Java we are using here? Java 21. So I will say in this Azure YAML pipeline, I will say Java 21 is what we need. Okay. Then clean package is correct. It will create a target artifact. Then in the build stage, it will just say it will build a Springboot app and it will use this Java tool. This will install the JDK. This will install our JDK 21. On where? On the machine. So how it works is whiteboard. Let's go to whiteboard. To run anything, you need some compute capacity. And here, when a pipeline will run, it will also like if I in my local, if I do maven clean install or npm run build, it is using my laptop's memory and RAM and CPU. Only then it is able to build that artifact. Same way, here is Azure DevOps, completely separate application, Azure DevOps. It has many applications. One is Azure Boards, where all the user story management, everything happens. Then it has Azure Repos, where we just kept the code. Then it has something called pipelines. We will use this pipeline now. We are creating the pipeline stages now. But one of the stage will be download the code from here, then spin up a server somewhere in Azure DevOps and install Ubuntu latest in this. That is what we are saying. That is what we are saying. Ubuntu latest, which is Ubuntu 24 is I think latest. That will be the operating system that will be installed on this mini machine. And after that, install JDK 21. That is our next goal we are writing here. This is what it is written. See. And this app name it says my Spring Boot dev, but actually it's a inventory microservice, let's say. And now, s- so here it's saying variable, the Azure App Service connection name to deploy to. So we will create an Azure App Service name. So we have to create an Azure App Service, right? That is what we will give the name here. So I will say, how do we create that name? Our yes, Azure App Service naming convention we give, right? And we do it for dev environment and 01. So this is our inventory microservice, app service, inventory. So with this name, we have to create an app service. We haven't created there. We have to create that in the portal. Then it will deploy there. But we have not created it yet. We'll create it later. Now Java will be installed. Java version. This is the variable mentioned in the variable section. That one, with these variables mentioned in the variable section, can be referred in the other parts of the pipeline like this, dollar and parenthesis. So you can refer many variables here. So now from the stages, the first stage is having jobs, stages, and then stage. Each stage has many jobs. This is the first job. What is the job? Build the Spring Boot app. And for that, each job has steps, and then each step has tasks. This is how the structure of Azure YAML pipeline is set up. And this is what they ask you in the interview. So first task we are saying in this Azure build app is install Java. This is the version of Java and this is the architecture other things. And display while displaying you can display it like this when you are running the pipeline. Then we are asking to run Maven command. This is the task to run the Maven command. All this is you can find in the documentation of Azure. All these are predefined tasks. Now it is saying where can I get the for running the Maven clean install, it will run it from this root folder, like the backend folder. When at the root level, it will expect form XML should be present. That's why we just wrote here form XML. So path to the Maven descriptor file. And we are skipping the test for now, and this is the goal we will run. This is the command clean package it will run. Then what it will do? Publish JUnit test. If there are any JUnit test, it will publish those test results to Azure DevOps Test Lab. It will also push the JUnit XML reports here in Azure repos. Java Home and other JDK options it will set up. Now if I do this in my local Maven clean package, then it will create a target folder like similarly it will create the target folder there also where on this machine, on this Ubuntu machine. After installing JDK, it will run Java, MVN clean package. Then the same level, it will create a target folder. In that, it will create the jar. So jar is mentioned in this, available in this mini machine, where our CI just happened. So now this needs to be copied. This jar needs to be copied and placed into where? In the portal, we will create Azure App Service. It has to be copied from here to here. For that, we will need something called a service connection and some copy commands. Okay, so there is the copy file command. What it will do after building this site on that Ubuntu machine where it will get the jar. There are system defined already variables with Azure as said system.default working directory, which means it will directly go to the inside the Linux machine where this pipeline was running, and there it will find our project default working directory. And from there, this is specific. You can call this is very, I mean, it's already defined. So from here, from the target folder, copy any kind of .jar file. So this is the place. Basically, here we are saying it's a source folder because this is now our source folder only, right? Here the source code is there. Because we built it, so at the same level, it also created a target folder. So system.default working directory is our source folder. And from there, we want to go it inside target. And from target, what we want to copy, any kind of .jar. And where we want to put, there is another build.artifact staging directory. So this is a place where we will put, then the app service can easily pick it up. And from here, we will say publish build artifact. So path to publish is same path. Artifact name it will give as drop, name of the artifact bundle. You can give any name. And finally, for deployment, it will check if the this depends on means if this stage is completed. Where is this stage? This one, build. If build is completed successfully, like succeeded, then execute the job, deploy Springboot app. This is the name. And it will try to deploy the this, and I will show you what it will do. It will take the environment. And what is this environment? I will show you. Links to Azure DevOps environment for tracking and approval. Here, I will go copy this. Here we will go. Then in this place, you see pipelines, environments. Here we will create different environment. First environment is development. Similarly, we will create our acceptance, test, and production environment. And in this, we can add different kind of resources, and we can say allow some things to be done with some permissions, all those rules we can add, approvals, let's say. So I can say that only if these people approve, only then allow deployment. Then the pipeline, while building, it will stop and ask for approval. There are many things can be done here. That's why it's asking to link your environment. So we have linked our environment. Development. Strategy now runs once, deploy, and then the step is Azure Web App. This is again built-in task to deploy a package to Azure App Service. And it will look for service connection Azure. So let me change this service connection inventory app. So using this service connection, now it will be able to Azure DevOps, which is a separate application. We have already read in the previous class, there is a separate application. A portal.azure.com is a separate one. To have a connection between them, we need to create a service connection. And that is what we will create now. What kind of app service are we going to create? We will create a Linux-based app service. I will show you that. And there is the app service name. which it is going to take it from here. This is a variable. So with that name, app service will be created. After creation, it will go and copy the our jar from this folder, drop, and then it will run the command java minus jar, and then all the Java Spring Boot will automatically come up. So now let's push this one, updated. So how do we now run this pipeline? We saw how to create the Azure YAML pipeline file. There's a file, scripted file. Once you have scripted this, anyone can now use it, run it to deploy at least this microservice. For another microservice, copy paste it, change the name. If your stack is like Maven for build and deployment on Azure App Service, but if your stack is deployment to Kubernetes, then something else needs to be also updated here. But also in this pipeline, we are just building the application. We are taking from Git, building, and that's it. In real world, there are 5 to 6 more steps. You have to do sonar quality check, static code analysis, dynamic code analysis, then security vulnerability or any old dependencies are used or not. Many scan stages will happen. Then if you are using Docker scan will happen. So those can be added as multiple other stages. Like after build and before deploy, you can add more stages, or in the build stage itself, you can add different jobs. That after this job, you basically run, or before this job itself, you can run the job for Sonar Cube analysis, then HP45 analysis. And if those fail, then this step should not execute. So you can uh, have this kind of strategy, depends on. So now let's follow our documentation also. So here we are, Azure YAML pipeline. We have created the pipeline. Now we have to run the pipeline. We saw all these common tasks already there. Now we have to go to pipeline, create new pipeline, create pipeline, and we will get 3 options from where we can take the code. Of course, we have the code here. Then automatically it will go to that project and choose which project. So this will take this, and then what we will do, we will say existing Azure YAML pipeline file. Our repository already has the file. Now it will ask where is the file. Of course, it will also ask which environment. Let me say I'm deploying the dev branch, and it's asking where is the file. So I will give this file. Next, as soon as I do next, it is good. It has picked up my code, everything intact. Then it would ask me whether I want to run it or save it. So now this pipeline has failed. It says the pipeline is not a valid. It's saying, and why it failed? So it is saying input Azure subscription. This could not be found. So we have to create a service connection with this name. Only then it will be able to attach. So this is how you create service connection. I think we have to continue in the next video. So let me send the next link. But here in the settings, bottom, we will find service connection. And that is what we have to create now. This is the service connection. create new service connection. And yeah, let me share the link. Let's continue the next one.